Okay, now we're going to check our truck binder. Every truck should have one. It'll have the proper truck number on the outside. The things that we are looking for most are, for us, we have our fleet fuel card. Make sure that that is in there. And for Anchorage, we have a Whittier tunnel pass. You want to make sure that that is in here. And that we have a pen, because we have a fuel log that we need to write on. The most important things that we're looking for is our registration and insurance cards. Make sure that the date is not expired and that it is for the correct vehicle, and that also with our insurance it has of course the year and everything, the company number, and that they are both present in the vehicle. The vehicles do not leave the yard without those in them. This is our fuel log. That is in there. This is our annual inspection report. Basically, the only thing we're looking for here is that the date, 9/25/25, matches our sticker in our back window of 9/25. You can see them punched out there. And then the rest of this is just general information. You have your safety data sheets are in here. And you also have your Samsara user guide. We have our 3 eyes in here, as well as our sample driver's log. And that is all for your binder. Okay, once we're in the vehicle, we want to make sure that our seat belt is in good condition. So I'm going to pull my seat belt out, make sure it fully extends, and you're checking for any frays or cuts. We don't want to see any frays or cuts on our seat belt. We want to make sure that it locks properly into its locking mechanism and holds, and also releases. Okay, from there, I'm going to turn my key on and I'm going to check my instrument panel. And I'm going to go left to right, up and down. So I'm watching my lights on my dash as they turn on. The functionality of my needles, they moved up and down. Now I'm coming down here to my headlight indicator. I'm going to turn it on. There's my parking lights and my running lights. I want to make sure that the engine is running as well. Thank you. This is our washer wiper fluid. I want to make sure that they work and that the washer fluid dispenses once you push on the button, and that they work in low, high, and intermittent as well. There was low and high, and then we wait for the intermittent. There it goes. All right. And then moving down here, behind that, we have our lamp check and our work light switch. Once your lamp check is engaged, your outer lights will function separately, and you can check your lights as you're walking around the vehicle. Our work light, when you turn that on, it turns the light on behind us so that you can see the trailer in the dark. Okay, this is our tachometer with our RPMs. So when you push on your accelerator, you see your needle rise or fall. This is our oil pressure gauge. It tells you what pressure your oil is at, and that gauge will rise as the engine warms up. So it'll get up to its running pressure as the truck is running. This is your coolant level. Again, that needle will also rise the longer the truck runs. It'll rise up to its proper running position. Coming across from before, we have our 2 air tank gauges. Our fuel tank is at half. This is our odometer here. Tells you the miles that you've driven, your fuel capacity that we have, and then of course this is weather. It's irrelevant, but it tells you the weather outside. And of course our transmission is in neutral. We have drive and reverse. Alright, so this is our speedometer here, but we also want to check our voltmeter to see what the voltage is in our battery. And to do that, we will engage this button here, and you'll see the readings up here on the dash. You can push through it and see the different economy for fuel, your average trip distance. But this is the screen you want to see because it actually shows our voltmeter there, and you want it to read at least 14 volts in operating, and you have to have at least 12 volts to start the vehicle in the mornings. Okay, we're moving across now to our speedometer. Of course, you've got your numbers up and down for your speedometer. The big numbers are miles per hour. The little numbers are kilometers an hour. And then we have our def needle for our def gauge, and will be either full or empty. Now we're going to do our interior light indicators. As you can see, my hazard lights are on. Now I'm going to do my left and right turn signal. There's my left turn signal indicator, my right turn signal indicator, and if you look down here on the bottom, you'll see our bright light indicator down there below the neutral sign on the bottom left. Okay, now we're moving to our transmission, and on our transmission we have our engine brake. So right now all the way up is off, and if we pull her down we can use our different braking systems. We have, again, all the way up is off, 1 click down is 1, 2 clicks down for 2, 3 clicks down for 3. And then here we have also our knob that we can turn for automatic transmission, and if we push in on the knob here, it will switch to manual transmission where you can go through the gears yourself. Moving on down here, actually that's still in neutral, yep. Moving down here we have our PDL or differential lock. The only time we engage that, should I go ahead and push it, is if we have icy road conditions and we want the vehicle to have better traction. We engage it. We would move forward at no more than 10 miles an hour to gain traction, and then we'll turn it right off once the vehicle is moving more than 10 miles an hour. Because if you don't, that can really mess up your drive shaft and drive train. This is our off-road button. You can engage that for if you're off-road and the roads are bumpy and you need to have better traction on the off-road. But you never want to drive down the road with that engaged. This is your hill assist, which will help you stay in position on a hill. If you're on a hill that's 45 degrees and you have to turn left or right, you can engage that, and it will prevent you from rolling backwards when you move your foot from the brake to the accelerator. And that can remain on as you're driving down the road if you choose. This is our lane placement. That's always on. That is, it tells you when you're swaying left or right. The light will change color, and it also will show a picture right up here on the dash. It will show you a picture of your trailer and the lane that you are encroaching on, either left or right. And you'll hear an alarm, which will be That little black box right there will be, there'll be a red light, and it will make a sound saying that you're encroaching on either right or left lane. Your suspension dump is when you are going to attach your trailer. You want to dump the suspension completely so that you can roll your tractor 3/4 of the way underneath the trailer. Then you hook up your air lines, finish attaching, and then you can raise your suspension back up after you are attached. This is your fifth wheel slide. If you want to engage that, that will open up the fifth wheel shock, and you can move the fifth wheel plate forward or backwards with your trailer attached. Of course, this is your hazard lights. To engage it, you will push on that. To disengage them, you will push on it again. Your parked regen is if your engine is running hot or running rough, you pull off in a safe location. You can hit that button to engage your parked regen. Your engine will go through its cycle, burn off all the issues that is causing it to need to have a park regen. Coming down here is the controls for your cab. You have your fan all the way, it's high or low. You want to make sure those work. This is your temperature control for your heaters and your air conditioning for both. And this is where you want it to go. Your feet or your face, just your face, or your defrost. You want to make sure that those buttons work, that they rotate. Auto button is for it to be on automatically all the time. You just give it a little push and your fans will stay on. All of our new trucks have circuit breakers in them, but they also have fuses, so we want to make sure that we have our little container of spare fuses that are in there as well. Okay, coming across, I'm going to check my interior lights, make sure that they all work by pushing on them. We have our vehicle radio. Of course, you'll pull it out, you'll push your button, announce your truck number, and say radio check, and listen for the response. Coming down here, we want to make sure that our seat is securely mounted to the floor and that it is not torn or ripped or rusted out. Here we have our emergency triangles. There should be 3 of them. What I like to do is I like to pull them out one at a time and actually put them together to make sure that they work, because a broken triangle is a useless triangle. Okay, so I put them together, make sure that they work and that they are clean and visible. And then when I put them back in my box, I want to rotate the triangles. So the next one will come forward, and then the one behind that will also move forward. So that you've checked the next triangle the next day, and in 3 days you have checked all of your triangles conditions. Come on, get in there. All right. Okay, now we're going to move up to the steering wheel. We're going to check our service horn, and our air horn is up here. Pull on the cable, and now we're going to check for our steering wheel play. You don't want it to go more than 10 degrees or, I blinked, 2 inches. And we do that with 2 fingers. So we have good play on our steering wheel. These buttons are for the cruise control. As you're rolling down the road, you want to push the on button, get up to your desired speed, and then hit set. And if in fact you have to slow down and push your service brake to resume that speed that you previously set, you'll push your resume button. These buttons over here are for Bluetooth or phone, radio volume up and down, and to change the radio channel. And this is your mute button. This is your headlight interrupt and your identification / marker light interrupt.